Let's see. Does that help?
That does. That's better when you're a little bit closer like that. Yeah.
I turned my speaker up too as well.
There
Is
you go.
that
Okay. Much
okay?
better.
Okay, real good. Y'all are blasting through my house right now too. So anyway, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, I'll introduce myself. My name's Cheryl Cortese. And as I just mentioned, I've been with the Juice Plus Company now for almost 34 years. And that's a shock to me because my background was education. I taught at one of the universities in South Louisiana, which is where I'm from. And before that, kindergarten. I'm a mom. I have two grown children, of course, now, and a grandchild. So I kind of hang out with the kids, grandbabies rule, you know. But I really, I guess if I look at this and I listen every week, we hear the most wonderful stories, and they're all different and they're all tailored to the person, you know, that we're talking to, so or is telling about it. And it makes for not just a wonderful validation of our product and our business and we sharing that business with others, but a huge validation of the community that we belong to. And why does somebody come and stay 34 years or 20 years or 15? You know, they come and they stay. And I think that's one of the things that really differentiates us from other companies. We look at our company, the man who started it, Jay Martin, a very young man at the time. He has been the steward and, you know, of course, president. And but he's really led this company now for this is the 51st year. And so something happens here, I think that's a little different than anywhere else. I truly believe it is that it attracts people who care for others. It attracts people who want to be that light or gift to the world as far as helping other people do well in all areas. And I'm going to go back to Andrea just a minute. Andrea has, I love that she brought her team tonight, and we thank all of our national marketing directors who you know, share the, you know, just the experience of coming here together on Thursday night with the people that they know in their businesses and share those stories with us. But Andrea, tell us again now, how long have you been with the Juice Plus Company?
This is my 20th year.
So 20, 34. I mean, we've been hanging out a long time. And so, you know, just what is it? I mean, I know enough of your background, of course, because I've known you for a long time. You know what your profession. You've had challenges certainly from a health standpoint. But what is it that you come and you stay 20 years and you're continuing to stay? What is it that what's the glue? Okay.
Yeah, there are quite a few things actually. And I think the one that's most prominent on my mind right now is the time flexibility. I just this past weekend got back from the final stage of settling the estate from my mother's when my mother passed 2 years ago, and the family home. It's been our home for 60 years, and so all the memories and all the collection of things from grandparents, great grandparents. I mean, it took 2 years to go through all those things, and I'm the youngest of three sisters, and I was the only one of us three who had the time flexibility where I could go there and spend a week to 12 days or whatever and continue with my business because I had my laptop. It's a virtual, you can be anywhere you are in the world and do this business. But that I could be free to go and do what I needed to. And also, I mean, even prior to that, was free to go be with my mom in her last, when she was ailing and all that. And, I know that when I was just a musician, and that was my life, that was my career, I could not do that. I mean, if there's a concert coming up, there's only one person to a part, and I had to be there. And when my father passed away in 1988, I played a concert the same day he passed away. And it was really difficult, playing some music and having tears rolling down my cheeks. But that was the old days. And with the Juice Plus business, the time flexibility that I get to be my own boss. My sisters, one's a nurse practitioner and the other's she works for the state of New York, and they have to ask their bosses for time off. And you know, plan ahead to schedule patients so that there's like maybe 2 days that she could, drive 7 hours to come join me. So I mean, the time flexibility, I think, is the number one that's most current on my mind. But yeah, there's a bunch. I don't know how much you want me to talk, Cheryl.
You can say a few for sure. We've got a few minutes here.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, and one of the things too is because I love to learn. I didn't necessarily love being a student, like being in the academic world, but I love to keep learning, just learning life. And I just love the continued education, tuning in, and Emily said it so well, tuning into the conference calls and learning from everybody. Health professionals and natural health healers, and having the continued support. I mean, in the former world that I came from, people would joke with you if you had chose to have a orange or an apple instead of the chocolate cake. He's like, oh, what are you doing? You're trying to be healthy or so. But in our community, they embrace us, like, yeah, good for you. Our community supports healthy choices and healthy habits, and so that's really cool. And this is a really fun one that I thought of. The personal growth that happens because of this business, I have gotten some chuckles out of it lately because, after 20 years, we learn things like how to do a 3-way call, a conference call, that kind of thing, or how to make telephone calls. I mean, like, I'm really comfortable on a telephone now. My sisters have made so many comments. It's like, oh, you're such a techie. How do you know how to do all this? It's like, well, I kind of do it every day, So I feel, even though I'm the youngest sister, I feel like, hey, maybe I know some more that my sisters don't know. It's like, yes. So the business has taught me some basic skills, and I'm the one who picks up the phone. I made the deal for sale by owner. I mean, I was comfortable talking and communicating and all the different calls to settle the estate. I was the one who made all the phone calls, and they were like, oh, I'm so glad you're brave enough to do these calls. It's like, it doesn't take brave, but the old Andrea, it would have taken brave to do these things. So I just think the personal growth that comes with this and becoming more of a people person, where I came from a real hermit kind of lifestyle and mindset. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I could go on, but I'd rather hear from you, Cheryl.
And I love that you've shared that, because so often, I mean, we hear, people that they come and they stay. We know our product's great. We know our business is a good business that pays well, all of those things. But, I was saying this the other day, that it's really the experiences. If I'm talking to somebody, I mean, I've been here a long time, we say, oh, do you remember when we did such and such? And it might be 1998 or 2005 or whatever. Nobody remembers exactly what the check was then or what you made. What they're talking about is the experience, the things that make life, that bring joy to life. I mean, if I listen to what you're saying, definitely we all want freedom of choice. I mean, if you really got down and when you're meeting people and learning them and learning what do they really want in life. And I think this is important to have those conversations when you first bring someone into your business, is what do you really want? What is it that would make you smile if you got an extra $500, $800 a month, $2,000 a month? How would that change your life? Well, what you're talking about and what we all eventually come down to is freedom of choice. You had the choice to go do things that were important to you. Sometimes that choice is, something that's a real joy. You're going on vacation or you're taking your family, but sometimes it's the difficult things in life that we'd like to be there for, that we might not be able to if we didn't have that freedom of choice as well. So, that's wonderful. And I'm like you too. I love, I call it the brain sparks. Okay. I love the brain spark energy that comes from the creativity. I mean, our business, and sometimes people will say to me, well, you've been doing the same thing, the same products, the same marketing plan for 34 years. Don't you get bored? Don't you? No, not at all, because it's constantly an evolution and a creativity of how do you reach out to more people? How do you, bring the story, you might say, to people? How do you really enhance and help develop their lives? And I'm like you too, is I love the learning aspect. My background was education. I taught in both kindergarten and then, went on to get a master's to teach in university. But, I loved what I did, and it was a learning environment, but I truly never felt like I was really awake in my life until I began to do this. And I think that's where, for me, that's why 34 years, that's why looking at the next 34 years to come is that it really does fill all those needs. It aligns with my values. The brain energy of the learning process, I wouldn't know uh, much of anything about nutrition and how to care for myself. And yet it's been a huge thing for my family because of all the learning that goes along with it, the validation of how we can take care of ourselves. I love the part where, when I'm sitting with somebody that's new and, I am talking about either the product or the business, and I see that light come on behind their eyes, and when they get it, like this might be the thing that would make the difference from a health standpoint, or this might be the thing that would make the difference from a security standpoint, as far as, really taking care of that extra income that gives you that financial independence. So, it's a new experience every time you start with a new person. So I just wanted us to kind of touch on that because, we all in our lives have the responsibility to create a living, an income to provide for ourselves or the people that we love. And we want to do that in the happiest manner, definitely, and a manner in which we really are not only rewarded financially, but are rewarded many different aspects of life. And I think that is the beauty of what we have is our community and the way that people support each other, but all the good things that come besides just the dollar, just the income. And yet that's a very important part because that's the part that keeps the whole thing expanding and growing. So I thought tonight the things that we would touch on, and thank you, Andrea, for your input and for coming to our call with your team and the team members who shared with us. I get excited every time I hear a story, and I loved them tonight. But uh, let's just talk a little bit about just the foundation. Once you've realized that you're part of something that you almost could refer to as home, we talk about the Juice Plus family, but we all, if we're here a long time, we found a home, so to speak. And if you're going to look at this from a business standpoint, then there are a few very basic things that go into place. Now, we're all aware at this point that we have a summer program going on, a 90-day plan referred to as the Business Blitz. And so you can go on and, invite someone to partner with you in your business, and they can do it for the gift of the contract fee of $52. So that's waived here during the summer. It gives you that reason or that, starting, I guess, to share with someone, to stretch out, to reach for people that maybe you've not reached for before, to go back to people and say, our company is really in the generosity of putting that team together. We're going to offer this summer. So here's something special. So you have a special to offer. But if we're looking at your business overall, if we're looking at what is the format, what is the foundation of what that should look like? Because for all of us, we start in the same place. We start right there, with that contract, whether we've paid $52 or whether we can offer it in these few months for, waive the fee, wherever we all start in the same place. So we want to look at this as being presidents of our own company. Every one of us is in business for ourselves. We don't work for the Juice Plus company, we work from them. And yet we do become a wonderful functioning unit. So if you're in business for yourself and you're the president of your company and there is no ceiling to the potential for growth, then it can be whatever you want it to be over time. But if I look at my business, what is the foundation to reach this unlimited income? How do you take advantage of this compensation plan that we have? And there's some things that are very basic. Certainly, we've talked about the story. We see the story here. The stories are what create the I guess you would say, the interest. People love to know more about the story once they hear the heart story. And that's what we heard certainly tonight, was people in their heart story. So the story is a big part of it. But once the story's been told, even whether it's person to person, in a Zoom meeting, in a big event, at a conference, over the phone, whatever, then what do you look at as far as your business and what that format needs to look like? So we have the 4 basic positions. As we grow up through our compensation model, we become a partner with the company. We grow into partner plus, qualifying sales coordinator, and sales coordinator. So sales coordinator is the highest commission position. So that's your first goal. If that's the first goal, what are the steps along the way? Well, the steps along the way are how quickly can you, move through Partner Plus and QSC and be ready to go into Sales Coordinator. And then the format there would be go to QSC as quickly as possible, qualify your business, and then move into Sales Coordinator. So it's really, if you look at what's the overall picture, you want to go really wide with team members. You also want to work really deep. So it's both horizontal growth and vertical growth. And you want to keep thinking about, helping those people get that vision of sales coordinator. If you're going to do this work, you want to be paid at the highest possible position, get the biggest return. That's sales coordinator's top commission position. All leadership positions above bring their own perks and rewards, but that sales coordinator puts you in position for all commissions at the highest level and all monies. So sales coordinator, first step, qualifying sales coordinator, next step, qualification, and then sales coordinator. So let's talk about qualification, because I think sometimes this kind of gets missed. If you're really going to be in business and you're going to access it at the highest level, you want to be business minded. You want to take this on as the real serious business it is. And I think that's what my sponsor was very good at helping me see, was that I could play at a much higher level than just, a order here or an order there. So qualification is really where you find yourself basically in business. When you're consistently qualified, it means that you have established a business and it's not just a hobby or an oh by the way thing. So qualification is the foundation of your business. It's the standard by which you do business, and it's also the model that you want to set for other people. And this is something that is consistently over all the years totally true, is people will do what you do, not what you say, but what you do. So if you're the model, you create the consistency or the duplication of exactly what you're doing and the manner in which you're doing it. So when you qualify, this really becomes the name of the game. Now you're in the game, you're not sitting on the bench, you're not watching it happen, you're in it. I like to say all the time, you can either watch the parade, be part of the parade, or lead the parade. And I like the idea of let's all lead the parade. We're known in our organization as the organization that loves to build team, that are good at building team. They referred to us over the years as, recruiters. I never thought that was a bad term. I like being the team that really does put its arm around people and welcome them in and help them grow businesses. So being qualified sets the pace for your business and assures that you will not leave money on the table. So when we say that, as far as leaving money on the table, if you're not qualified, any business that happens beneath you, the percentage, the 3%, rolls up to the upline. I don't ever want any money from my distributors other than what I'm entitled to through the basic pay plan. I want them all to be qualified because that's going to ensure their success, which then turns around and ensures the success of those who are working and helping and teaching them. So really being qualified helps you focus on income producing activities. It stabilizes your check. It qualifies you to teach people the same thing, which is going to create a duplication that pays. So this is one of the things I learned from my sponsor too, that I feel like was so important. I didn't have to read all the books, so to speak, or anything. I just had to do the activity and then teach people to do the activity that I did. And for all these years, any training that's ever been done, Jeff would say, just teach them what you did. Just teach them what you did. So you're doing the activity, the training part becomes really second nature to you, because you're going to be teaching what you've done, and then duplication happens. So let's talk about exactly what qualification means as far as being performance bonus qualified. Now, if you look at our plan, when you first start your business, your greatest income, that income in the beginning, is going to be from customer profit, the retail profit. It's going to be from the commissions that are paid between your position and those people you're helping to grow up. So if you're a sales coordinator and you start a new partner, you help that person to Partner Plus, QSC, there's going to be a commission difference that you're paid between your position and theirs. And that's the company's encouragement to you to develop teams so that you're paid for that extra help to that person. And then they, of course, become sales coordinators, and that stabilizes your business, and that's important. But if you're going to go to QSC and grow people to QSC and help them really become qualified and model that qualification for others, this is a very important step for all future stability as far as your income and their income. So how do you qualify? A qualified business means that you're acquiring $1,800 in purchase credit. And we used to work on points. Today it's on dollars. That makes it so much easier to remember. $1,800 is $1,800. And this is your own personal business. So what does it mean to say your own personal business? $1,800 can come from, in accumulation, your own personal orders, whatever you and your family consume. It comes from your preferred customers' orders. So as many preferred customers that have orders, that goes toward the 1,800. It comes from your new partner orders. Okay, so that's important to realize, that all the new partners you have, or their orders are going to count toward your 1,800, and your new partner plus. So 4 different areas: your personal orders, your own consumption, your preferred customers, your new partners, and your new partner plus. So for myself, my whole career, I've looked at keeping that pool really full. Okay. A person could do it with just preferred customers, and that would be fine, but that limits you too, because then you're constantly working with those people, hoping that, and many of them will over time, grow up into, just partners as well. They'll become distributors within your business because they'll fall in love with the product and other people will fall in love with it. But if you've got that pool full all the time of customers, new team members being your new partners, your partner pluses, them growing up into partner plus, then you always have that mix there that's going to ensure that you have not only your qualification at 1,800, but you've got people who are already in the process of growing up as team members. So I highly encourage people to have that mix, to always have that pool full, more so than you need, even than the 1,800. The other thing that happens is, let's say the pool's full, your customer order, your own orders, your customers, your new partners, your new partner plus, then anything that is over 1,800 up to 1,800. So we could say, you do have 3,600 going on there. 1,800 is going to go in the bank, you might say. It becomes what they refer to as excess volume. Now, that always is in the bank, so that if there's ever a time where maybe something would happen where you would fall below 1,800 in your monthly business, then you've got a bank that's going to fill that in so that you would have a month or two to recover if necessary. sometimes it falls that way. Maybe everybody grows up into QSC at one time. Maybe, some of your customers fall off and you're looking for some more, things of that nature. So you want that pool as big as possible. I don't dip into my excess. I don't like to do that, but I like to know that it's there so that if it's ever needed, so it's a insurance backup in the bank. And so keeping that pool is really important because then that puts you in position with new people to always have somewhere, you might say, to go fishing for new team members that are really going to grow up. Your new team members are in that pool, and there are going to be some who will really want to have a serious business. There'll be those who will just be what we used to refer to as, the family plan. They wanted the discount because they have a lot of people in their family on the product. You never know when they might want to create a big, serious business with this. So that's a very important pool as far as your business is concerned. So if you can help your new person build that pool right away, get themselves to Partner Plus and QSC quickly, and then have that pool big enough that it's always producing at least $1,800 or more. And as I said, anything over $1,800 goes into the excess up to $1,800. So you really have you've got a good rhythm. And I like to think of my business too as what does the business rhythm look like? And a rhythm has a consistency and a repetitive nature to it. And if it's steady and consistent and simple, then your business is going to grow easily. It's going to flow easily. It will create momentum. And momentum is very, very powerful. Once you have momentum in place and you continually support that momentum, there's no way to do anything but win and to grow. And there's a whole section on momentum. Maybe we'll cover that next week because I think we're just about out of time here. But if you can just have that foundational picture of you come into our business, you go from Partner to Partner Plus as quickly as possible. That can be in one day. QSC, set up qualification so that you're a model for everybody because people are going to do what you do. They're going to want to wear what you wear. They're going to want to do what you do. They're going to go the places that you go. It's just the way it happens in our business. You're qualified and you grow into sales coordinator. That can easily happen in a 3-month period, which gives you all fast track and express track bonus monies. So it really helps that person in that first 3 months earn anywhere from $4,500 to $5,000 in income. That's a really good start. And then you turn around and you do that with others. You just repeat, repeat, repeat. That has been my whole business plan, my entire 34 years. And it hasn't changed in 34 years. The names of the positions have changed. They've added a new position here or there, but the format is always the same, always the same. That to me is a great deal of security. It's a security from a business standpoint in that, I certainly can't ever be fired. We don't fire people in our business. We are in business for ourselves. It gives me the security that I know that I can constantly be growing and I can replenish at any time. And so with that format in mind, I know that, it is a success track. So I would encourage you to work in that manner. As we look at this summer and we're almost through June, I can't believe it. It's like, how do these months go so quickly? I have a theory that the earth is spinning faster, but that's probably just my own imagination here. But at any rate, if we look at the rest of these summer months, there's plenty time here to really put some urgency behind being able to offer people the waiver of you can start now, only in a short period of time here over the next probably 8 weeks, 7 weeks. They will waive the contract fee. So let's put as many people together in your team as possible and let's make the difference in the world. I really, truly believe that we're a very important part of how this whole thing's coming back together in a good way. as far as what we've experienced in this pandemic. I'll say it over and over. I don't think the earth has ever uh, been in a place where they're more awake to the need to really be responsible and be the person who is directing your own, I guess you would say, physical care. You're your own, what would you say? You are your own family physician, I guess. I'm like it. But I think we have answers for people that can really take the edge off of what's happening, help people be healthy and strong, and really help them as far as economics is concerned. I think we're looking again, I may have said this last week, but I really believe it. You know, there are really 2 or 3 things going on, and from each direction is very powerful for our business. You have a huge segment of people who are really in need financially because what the pandemic has done to them. And so we are a wonderful source of helping that situation because our product is very affordable, it's extremely desirable, and it's certainly needed. There's also a huge segment of people who didn't spend any money because they couldn't leave the house. And so their income didn't disappear. And so there is significant additional monies in this particular group. So there is a wonderful place because they too want to take care of their health. They want to do the best for themselves health-wise. So they become very receptive to having the resources to purchase the product. So we have a wonderful marketplace right now. We have, you know, enough distributors across the world to really initiate this, but not nearly enough to carry through the whole task of meeting everyone. So it's just a wonderful pool of being able to not only attract the right people who are caring, but be able to service the marketplace. Also, people are rethinking how they want to live their lives. I know so many people that are saying, you know, I got up at 6 o'clock every morning, at work by 7:30 or 8. Some people saying I got up at 5 o'clock. I didn't get home until 7 or 8 at night. Do I really want to live that way? Or can I find a better way to spend more time with my family, to do the things that I want to do and not spend my life working somewhere else and never get to see my family? So we have a tremendous amount to offer if you can really just realize the value of not only who you are, but what you have to offer, and to see that light come on beside someone's eyes who says, this is the answer. This is going to make the difference. And really then we have the infrastructure in place with this organization and with this company to support that desire. It's the right time. It's the right place. It's the right people, and it's the right product and right plan. So I think I'm a few minutes over as usual, but it's been a real joy to be here with everybody. Thank you, Andrea, and your team tonight, and all your beautiful stories. And just keep telling those stories, because there are going to be so many people who want to hear them. As we share our stories, it doesn't mean that your story has to be exactly or fit the need of someone else, but it really opens the door for potential for their need, because everybody has needs, health-wise as well as financial. So again, as I said, a real pleasure, and we look forward to hearing you on the Monday night call and seeing you again next week. Thank you. Thank you again. Thanks, Carol.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Such
Bye.
great stories tonight.